Yes. First of all, if we could just kind of go back to that first European Cup, kind of what was it like as a player, kind of finding out that this competition was going to exist almost? I guess a step into the unknown.
It was amazing because when we played in the competition in '96, we won the French Championship twice in a row, '94, '95, and when you win, you always want to win more, and to be able to participate to this first European Cup, when it was a time where the TV rights were not, as strong as it is now, and so we knew the players, but we didn't know them really well. We had some videos, but it wasn't as it is now. So to go and play, in different countries, especially for me as a young player, was really amazing. I had the chance to play in the first European Cup with Toulouse in Constanța, in Romania, and it was amazing. And then to play in the final in the Arms Park. For me, the Arms Park as a kid, I always watched it on TV, and it was amazing. I grew up with my dad showing me some videos of Barry John, Gareth Edwards, Phil Bennett. So I always thought that the Welsh rugby was really the best, the most entertaining rugby, in the world. So to live there, the soul of that stadium was really amazing, and this game was unbelievable. And to win there, and come back with the trophy was very amazing.
Yeah. What was the build-up like to that final, kind of knowing that you were going to get to go to the Arms Park?
The build-up was really simple. When we played with Toulouse, it was about enjoying yourself. Play what you see, and the confidence between the players but around you, was really strong. So we knew that when you play, you can make some mistakes, because if you take your chance, then it can work or it cannot work. But we knew that every time we made a mistake, we had a player who could help us, and the confidence was really strong into the squad. I would not have changed one of my teammates, against any other ones. So it was a special time, but we knew that playing in Cardiff against Cardiff in the final was going to be a tremendous challenge, and we managed to win it. So I think we were really lucky, because this Cardiff team was really good. But on that day, I think the desire was really strong in our team.
Just correct your collar.
Yeah, sorry.
That's perfect.
What were your memories when it was about to go into extra time? Had you played any games that had gone into extra time before?
No, I don't think I played any games before going to extra time. It was just it was just a bit of fun again, and it's the kind of game that you never wanted to finish. And to be honest, we should have shared the trophy with the other guys. But when you play, you like pressure, and it's so exciting to think, okay, who will collapse, for the first, and who will not give the extra 5% that makes or the extra 1% who can make the difference. We start strongly into the game, where we scored some tries, and they came back strongly, and finally, at the end, I think we always speak about the back line with Toulouse, but the strength of our forwards, made a difference, and they built, it was a bit like when England won the World Cup, the forwards, like ruck after ruck, then you arrive not too far, and then a drop goal, makes the difference, or penalty. And I think if you want to win trophies with a team, you need your foundation need to be very strong. And we only won these very important games because I think our forwards were really very strong and powerful, and they were stronger than the other pack.
Yeah. And that, I guess, was the basis for a lot of Toulouse's wins over the years. Kind of the pack always very strong, as well as obviously the back line that could do.
Yeah. Well, it needs to be the composure, and the balance between the backs and the forwards needs to be adjusted. But I think it's the quality and the mental strength of the players too. It's because to win one trophy, I won't say that it's easy, but it's not too difficult. But to win 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, it's hard because when you failed, it's very easy to motivate yourself. But when you won, you always think that you achieved something, and then it's very hard to start again. And that's why in the UK, you know, always been amazed by Redgrave, you know, the in the rowing, because this guy won so many trophies in a row, and it's hard because when you win and to motivate yourself once again to say, okay, I want to win again, win again, win again. It's hard. But we had in the squad this strength and the quality of the players. We gelled together. We always lived together. We were very very good friends. If you don't have that, then you cannot be successful.
And in that first tournament, did you grasp the magnitude of what this would end up being, this European Cup, or was it, I guess, something that grew at the time?
No, we felt that it was going to be something strong. We just hoped that it was not going to be a test, but it was going to be, you know, for long term. But what happened? The English team weren't involved in the first tournament. We were quite upset because the year after, I think that's my cat who said, "Oh, Toulouse won, but it's because Bath wasn't involved." But I learned that it's a bit in the English spirit, you know. So, it was a joke, but we didn't take it as a joke. And I think the first one was really important, but the 3 trophies that Toulouse had, you know, after that, in a real competition, European competition, were really strong too. So it's you know, but it's always good to be the first team to win it.
Yeah, and you obviously mentioned the other trophies that Toulouse won. How important is the European Cup for Toulouse as a club? How much is it part of what the club represents now?
It's very important because when you're a team, you want to be the first, and you want to be the first in France, you want to be the first in Europe, you want to be the first worldwide. But rugby has changed, and we need to adapt. Rugby was in advance in many ways, but now many clubs, you know, have come back strongly, and the competition is much harder than it used to be. The location of Toulouse and the way, you know, the city is built, you know, with all these unis and all that. Rugby before was played by students, and so it was really easy for us to bring all the best talents, you know, in France, and then to link them with all these foreigners who came, tremendous players, you know, like McAllister, Byron Kelleher, Trevor Brennan, you know, Gareth Thomas. You know, they brought a lot to the club and to the culture. That's why I think we had to adapt to the changes of the rugby, and today I think the club is in a big turning point where we had to find some new resources and to really move the club into the next step, and we work hard on that, and we really helped, you know, by all the partners and all that, and I think all these old players who created, you know, this atmosphere in the club, you know, they come back and they try to build, to help the club, you know, to grow, you know, in the next few years, and that will be very important for us because if a club doesn't have a culture, if a club doesn't have these old players behind them, you know, then it's very difficult because the partners who are there, the people who are investing, they know maybe more these people who, you know, were playing like 5, 10, 15 years ago than the players who are playing now, because it's we renew them, you know, quite a lot, even if we try, you know, to keep the same players. But so that's very important, you know, to gel together.
And obviously a lot of the players who were involved in that first final are now involved here again. So
Emile Ntamak is there. You've got Jérôme Cazelbou, Christian Califano comes a lot. The club, you know, really wants them, you know, to help, and Fabien Pelouse, you know, is there. Wasn't playing the first tournament, but was a big guy. Thierry Dussautoir, you know, Yannick Josion, you know, all these guys, you know, they can bring a lot to the club.
Just in general on the European Cup, why do you think it's kind of the one to win in club rugby nowadays?
European Cup is a good way to show your abilities, you know, of course in Europe, but we know that the game are watched, you know, worldwide, so it's very important. It's always special when you take a plane and you go and play, you know, abroad. It's the step between international level and national level where everything goes quicker, where you discover new stadium, you discover new players, a new style of rugby, because the rugby has evaluated a lot, you know, in many countries. I think we are really happy to see that, for example, Scottish rugby, you know, teams like Edinburgh, Glasgow, they play really well and they're very hard to beat. English rugby has moved a lot too, in terms of they move the ball, you know, much more than what they used to be, a different style of game. And I think the Welsh provinces, you know, come back strongly too, and they try to adapt to modern rugby with, of course, the money that they have, but they fight hard, you know, and for the Welsh provinces, we see them, they manage to create some young players which are very talented, and I think that's very good, because I think they will deliver, you know, in the next few years. So every championship is different from one country to the other, but in Europe, when you play in Europe, you know, everyone is on the same line, so that's very good. And it's a very hard trophy to win, because you got 4 teams, you know, in a group. So then it's one accident and then you're out. So it's difficult. So for us, we don't play this year in Champions Cup, but even if we don't play, it's very good for us, you know, to play in the second trophy, and to create experience, you know, to our players, to come back maybe strongly next year or in the next few years and to win it again.
And just looking ahead to Sunday, obviously a return to Cardiff for Toulouse. Obviously they played here earlier in the year and they won.
Yeah.
What are you expecting from this game? What do Toulouse need to do if they want to kind of get
they
revenge?
And they won, and they were elegant. You know, they played really well. It's always special to play against Cardiff. I think Toulouse, we have it's like we're like brothers. We played so many times against each other. It's a long time since we know each other. And of course to go and play in Cardiff, where it's really amazing. While they were playing in the stadium, but the Millennium just next to there, you know, it's for me it's the best stadium in the world. The city is next to there. You can feel the pressure. People are really committed and really involved into the club. Everyone loves rugby, speaks to you about rugby. As a player, best place in the world, you know, to play rugby. So I really hope that our player will really deliver on the pitch. Unfortunately for them, they will have to come back straight away after. So they want to enjoy, you know, the night in Cardiff. But it's I think for us it's very important. And it's key, because if we don't win that game, then it means that the competition will be over. So we really need to come and win.
Yeah. And obviously with a Champions Cup spot for the winners of the Challenge Cup, it gives it an extra importance almost.
Of course, it's another way, you know, to get involved in the Champions Cup. The French league is very competitive. It's very hard to be in the first 6. So it's another way to be in the Champions Cup. But we know it's going to be very hard, and we respect Cardiff a lot. They won there, so it means that they play really well. They've got some talented players, but we got some talented young players too. Will play there, and but we just hope we're going to give them back what they gave us here, a lesson of rugby.
Very good. And then just looking ahead, obviously the finals this year in Bilbao. Kind of what do you expect from that sort of kind of the atmosphere of going to a new country and
we are very close to Spanish people. They are Latins. They enjoy partying in the same way as we do. They go to bed very late. They eat very late. But I'm pretty sure that people will enjoy that. We made a final. The French league, made a final in Barcelona, and at the start everyone was a bit skeptic about the outcome. But in the end, it was the most amazing final that was done, and everyone enjoyed it. And so I think Bilbao will be exactly the same. Unfortunately for us, Spanish teams, they don't have any teams who are involved, in this Champions Cup. But the weather, the atmosphere, and to go in a different place, I think will be loved by all the players. So I think that's a good choice.
And if you had to give your prediction for who will be there for Champions Cup?
It's difficult to say because you got so many teams, can really win it. I was really surprised by Clermont, who did really well against Saracens in the last few games, but now they struggle in the championship. They got so many injuries, so it's going to be hard for them to cope with the level of the Champions Cup. Anyway, the Irish teams, always there, and so the English teams. Some of them, they play some good rugby, but they don't manage to win, in the last few years. So yeah, maybe it's going to be a time for the English teams. But well, it's always, you never know when you go and play abroad, when you play a quarterfinal away. It's very different. So all these little things, little details will make a big difference.
And just quickly on Saracens, obviously your former club, they went through a difficult patch which they hadn't gone through for a few years.
Yeah,
now.
but they won the last game against Wasps.
But yeah,
that's
exactly.
very important.
They seem to turn the corner.
Yeah.
Vunipolas back, Mario
Itoje, yeah. When they got the key players, they're still there. It's very hard, when you miss, these tremendous players who we bring. Of course, they are like technically. Over everyone's, but they are, they bring in terms of leadership, about charismatic, So with all the players, they're still able to do something. But to have lost 2 games in a row, it's going to be difficult to qualify.
Yeah, and maybe.
I just hope they will, because I'm a big fan, and the first results, that I follow, of course, in the English Championship are all the time Saracens.
And if Saracens play a French team, other than Toulouse, of course.
Yeah, well, it's it's difficult, but it's difficult to say. But I'm a Sarries, so against Toulouse or Castres, it's not the same because I've played there. But I will support Saracens.
So you played at Castres and Montmarsan? Or?
I've started in Montmarsan, then I played Toulouse and Castres, and then Saracens.
Okay, I
yeah.
remember Castres. Okay, perfect.